Yeah. Happy Sunday, y'all. Welcome to another edition of the Views from the Friend Zone podcast. This is the new current crew, you know what I'm saying? So, without further ado, we're gonna have everybody introduce yourself. Don't trip on my background. This is where I want to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Yo, the
quarantined in my house, but I'd rather be on a beach somewhere. So that's why the background is. But always, it's your boy Real Talk Mall. Who else we got in the building?
open shirt poppy. What up, y'all? Quarantine views.
It's your boy Cliff Rock now.
Yes. So, you know what I'm saying? We all got a different landscape, but we're practicing social distancing. We're keeping each other safe, keeping each other clear of too much personal contact. You know what I'm saying? So good,
Gotta
man. I'm
hydrate.
excited. I'm excited because, I've been wearing sports theme every week because I'm dying for sports. Last week I had my Knicks gear. This week is the Brooklyn Nets gear. You know what I'm saying? Next week it might be football. I watched the NFL draft. My
Yeah.
Giants did pretty good. I gotta give the
Think
Cowboys.
so?
The Cowboys did good too. Cliff Rock Bernard's a Cowboys fan. You know what I'm saying? So how you fellas been doing? You know what I'm saying? Dealing with our sports.
Man, the draft was a beautiful thing. It was something fresh, something, you know, that'll keep us engaged, entertained, especially if you're heavy into football. I
Yeah.
thought the Giants did They plugged some needs,
You thought
but
they could have did better?
um honestly, that first pick, I think they should have went with the dude Simmons, the defensive dude. Defense wins championships. Yes, they got a
Do
old lineman,
they do? But
Tech
think about
Daniel.
it. Think about Kansas City. It's really
Okay,
Patrick
but
Mahomes that really got them
Danny
right.
Dimes is not Mahomes, bro.
I'm just saying, you got to work with what you got. Cliff, talk. How about your Cowboys, man?
How about
I
them guys?
honestly, I think we did pretty good in the draft, but I didn't want. I don't know. The draft didn't give me that same feel this year. The home, everybody was home getting the phone calls and stuff. The draft is about, kids living out their dreams. You see what kind of suits they wearing. It's something I felt like
They save money on the ridiculous suits, right? Sometimes these cats spend
But
twenty
still,
thousand
they
dollars.
lost out. They
it
lost
took
out on that experience.
took it away from the experience. It was to me. It was like a road call, big ass road call to me. I didn't really watch the draft like that, so I can't really comment too much on it
I
because
watched I watched
like
every minute of it. I'm talking
I
Did
about
you?
all
I felt like
9 hours of the draft I watched.
Wow.
That's how bored I am. But to say this,
Okay.
it's a perfect example of how we gotta be responsible in showing the maturity of what it takes to social distance, right? Because think about it. They just showed a video, you shared it with us, Cliff, 1,000 people in a house party in Chicago.
yeah.
You
It,
Wow.
it,
you got to think about it. Everybody could not feel sick during that house party, but you a carrier, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nobody had a mask.
Yo, but back to the draft real quick. That video of the shorty snatching,
The phone,
grabbing her man's phone, and he
yeah.
snatched it back real quick. Like,
Wait,
don't get slick.
my thing about it is these ladies. You got to understand. You almost at the finish line of having a perfect or close to. Not, I don't want to say perfect, but being taken care of by a millionaire. And you following up the bag,
Yo,
acting up.
how many of them you think is gonna still be in the picture in another year, two, or
no,
three,
no.
whatever?
You know what?
Maybe none of them.
No,
If there
a
was
lot of
250 people, 200, I think it's 280 people drafted. Maybe
255.
maybe 15 girlfriends might still remain. But
no.
that's life.
It all depends. A lot of times, the athletes if the girlfriend's smart, she should have a kid with him by the time he's a senior anyway.
Some of
So
them already had kids with the
a
with the
lot of
people, so they're
times
good.
already with the girl. So what she did was very inappropriate because it's like this is my life dream, and you trying to embarrass me on national TV. That's why the mom gave her a look like, "Are you kidding me, ho? Like you
Yeah,
don't see this kid? Like you know what you signed up for."
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's no secret. He had 3 phones in his hand and he had all that drip. He looked like Deion Sanders when getting drafted.
My thing is, shorty, you got your own phone. There's no need to grab my phone.
Exactly. So It's
You trying to be slick. You
That
took the
look he gave
opportunity
her
to
was
be slick.
hilarious, though. That look he gave her, he was like.
And my thing about it is, you kind of messing up the bag, right? Because now there's certain people looking at him like, he looked like he was gonna do something to her. You know how people take narratives and run with it. You know what I'm saying? And this is a night for him to sell himself, and then you doing
it,
something.
it was a lack of respect on her part because you try to manipulate the fact that he wasn't paying attention. He was talking to his team about coming and want being excited to be in the organization, and you try to quick one and try to grab his joint and
But
zip.
now I know his hand speed is where it needs to be. His reaction time, he's going to be a great wide receiver. He's a legend because he had his eyes focused and said, no. It came back to what he needed to do. That shows that man is going to be great.
His mom is the real OG. She gave the girl the real people's eyebrow like, chick, are you kidding me right now?
The most OG mom was Wilson's mom, who took the white girlfriend and said, listen, like, you need to get out of here. It's about my son.
She's the real OG.
He's a good offensive lineman.
That's what he learned.
At the hand, O lineman. You know what I'm saying?
It looked like she didn't want to get up neither.
Yeah, like I don't know what she was doing.
She was like, nah, this is not your time. Get out of this picture. Please pull her away. She's done. She's done. She'll be done by the end of the year.
All right. So we can keep a structured show. We're gonna jump into the show. The first topic, right? And like I said, Clifford shared us a video of last night that's floating around the internet that 1,000 people showed up in this house party in Chicago, right? Nobody had on masks. Nobody had on gloves. Mind you, African American people as a whole, we have a lot of pre-existing conditions. And a lot of times, diabetes, high blood pressure, etc., already runs into the family. And since it costs money to go see the doctor, sometimes we have the mentality of, well, my grandmother and grandfather had diabetes, my mom and pops had diabetes. I know I got it, but I just got to be careful. I say that to say this. All these thousands of people was in the house party, no gloves, no hands. The odds are, even if no one felt sick, someone's carrying and could transfer or make someone sick. I say that to say we're rushing to try to get back to normal before we really are outside of the health scare. So the first topic is rushing to open up again. Is there a hidden agenda or must it be done? I know we have to open up the economy again. I know we have to kind of return back to life. I'm dying to go outside again. I'm dying for the gym to open up. As fat as you see me in, I be in the corner of my bedroom working out, lifting weights and stuff. I'm dying to go back to the gym, but I know we have to wait. You know what I'm saying? Because even when they tell us that we're ready, it's still going to be a couple weeks where we still need to be cool.
It's
right?
It's not a hidden agenda. It's right out in the open. All right, just like you said, the economy has suffered. It's suffering. You got to get the money moving again, and I understand that. You know what I mean? We can't stay inside forever, but at the same time, it's funny how what's the dude from Philly? He said, was it Gilly the Kid? He said, it's funny how they opening up Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, where there's a lot of affluent black people, you know what I'm saying, probably one of the most affluent black coaches in the country. And they're like, yeah, you go out there and you be the test dummies. Mm-hmm. Everything's open up, because honestly, this is kind of the new normal. So whether you was sick or you are sick, or even if you never tested positive for corona, it's going to be a constant, right? So just because you had corona and got over it or whatever, that don't mean you can't get it again.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the scary part about it,
Yeah.
It's just like a lot of us, whether we want to call it corona or not, a lot of us over the last couple of weeks, even couple of months, we had experienced a level of being sick, a flu-like kind of thing. A lot of people I know, I got sick a couple of weeks ago. I know a lot of people who were sick, and then they were just like, now they're not sick anymore, and now they think, okay, even if I know I got it or not, I'm good. Nah, the strands are migrating, or that's not the word I want to use, but the strands are growing and mutating, right? So it's just like first wave, it was this kind of a strand. They're expecting another wave to come. That doesn't mean if you dodge this bullet, you'll dodge further. So your answer is you do feel like it's hidden agenda. What about you, Cliff? What do you think?
I just, I feel like people not really taking it serious to the certain points. And then if you seen that in the party thing I sent yesterday in Chicago, there was a lot of youngsters just living their life, living their best life, and acting like things was. It looked like a mini summer jam, which
Yeah,
was kind of scary to me. It's like, first of all, Chicago, to have 1,000 people in one house party in Chicago, it's a red flag. Somebody got shot last night.
that's what I was thinking.
You know what I'm saying?
Did they? Or you just saying that?
No, we don't know. But somebody got snuffed, somebody got stolen. You already know. Because
No.
Chi-Town get it popping anyway.
So, but
Yeah.
TMZ put it out there. It was 1,000 black people in one house party, and it's like we're in a crisis right now. So even through tough times like that, us as black people, you got to move accordingly anyway. And then we have a house party to make it worse.
Yeah.
1,000 people, and it surfaced all over the internet. I feel like people are not taking it serious, and I get it. I want to go outside more than anybody. Like, you know, everybody want to be outside and get back to their normal life, but we got to take our time with it. We can't just go out and just go to big events and go to a house party like it's a concert. Ridiculous. So
Not only that, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. I don't think it was 1,000 people, but I think the sensational the story, they said 1,000 people. It probably was
Even if it was only like 100 people, it was a tight
yeah.
room, wall to wall, like people all over each other, breathing on each other. You know what I'm saying? Like,
when people are smoking weed, it's my mouth to your mouth to my, you know what I'm saying? People don't wipe off a blunt, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so let's focus on this topic. What's the first thing you're going to do when the world opens up again?
what's the first thing I want to do? I don't know. I want to definitely go to like a sports bar and I want to be around people. I want to be around, people. That's what we all missing. As much as people still go outside now and again, not as much.
Yeah.
People going for their jogs. Some people have to go to work in some form of facet, but it's the whole gathering type of thing. I want to be in a gathering spot. You know what I'm saying? And just have that camaraderie with groups of people that we can't have now.
What about you, Cliff? What's the first thing you do in the world opens up again?
honestly, I just want to be around family and friends that I can trust and build with, and and even if it's like at my sister's house or somewhere we could just go and chill, whatever. Just the little things like that, because I don't, it doesn't bother me not to be in big settings like that anyway, but I do want that option, you know what I'm saying? And then also I wouldn't mind going to I don't even like the beach, but now if you wouldn't mind going to the beach
You
or going
stole my answer. That's why my background the way it is. I can't wait.
where you really could appreciate the outside world. I ain't gonna lie, I'm having a hard time. I know through this quarantine, I can't get locked up. I got to do everything straight from now on. No, seriously.
Yep.
Because it's like,
you're right.
I'm the type of person, and I feel like 2 or 3 of us, we like to be on the move. I could say me and Mike, we like to be on the move more. More of us is more he could deal with a homebody situation.
I thought I could, but now being isolated the way that I am,
but I like to be on the move, and and move around. So I definitely want to be around family and friends.
Hold on,
And
I'm gonna fix my light real quick.
Okay.
I definitely want to go to a beach setting, go to the beach or somewhere I could just enjoy outside the real way.
Yeah.
And go on an island.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like I said, those who are consuming this, through the video function and not just our audio podcast, I have a beach background, and I have a new appreciation for the sand and the fresh air and the ocean breeze. You know what I'm saying? I've been quarantining myself in my room.
Yo, I'm looking at that tree waving in the back.
Oh, you don't understand. I
Waves on
mentally
right.
feel the breeze in my head. I don't know if it's the ceiling fan, but in my head, I feel the breeze. And I say that to say,
Yo,
on a more serious basis, I miss family, I miss friends, and thank God for video conferencing, being able to like Zoom and FaceTime with people, but just having interaction with people, just that normal interaction, you realize how valuable family and friends are, right? Like a lot of
yeah,
times you may not take advantage, but you may not appreciate having these elements in your life till like you don't have it, and then, or if you're stuck in the house and let's say you and your spouse don't communicate like you guys should, and now y'all just two people in the house avoiding each other, you kind of just realize how your regular interactions with people, going to work, being able to go to work and just leave your four walls, things like that, we don't take advantage of. But the gym, I've been blessed to live in a condo where I have a gym in my basement and like no one's really there. But it's just,
it's, it's
using
still
the
open.
machines. I feel like I'm in jail because in jail you just gotta use your body workouts and do whatever and this thing in
Yeah,
your like I've been
your gym is still open in your building.
no, they closed it.
Okay.
That's what made this whole quarantine the worst for me when they closed the gym. I thought I could at least go to the gym, but the spreading of germs. We don't have a set protocol on how the germs spread. We're saying it's just a respiratory thing. We breathe it. You can't see yourself breathing out germs. You could not be coughing and still breathing out germs. So everything had to shut down. But I say this, appreciate your family, appreciate your loved ones. You know what I'm saying? Not only the fact that we've been isolated from them, but we're going to talk about it more in depth later on the show, but how easily you can lose a loved one.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
people, I know people who lost their father, their brother, their uncle, one family, one person due to corona, weeks apart. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's a lot,
how
man.
do you
That's a
emotionally deal
lot.
with that when the funeral homes are so crowded? One, you can't have a traditional funeral when you look at the body because of the spread. They don't want you to do that. Two, you can't even memorialize your loved ones the way you want to because they're backed up with the way they're processing the bodies. They're throwing bodies in trucks just so that they're just not infecting other people, but you can't get the body. It's just crazy. We'll talk about that more in depth, but just knowing that that's the life waiting for you outside. Stay inside. You know what I'm saying? If you can, stay inside. All right. So the next question is, believe it or not, with the Trump Clorox thing, there was 30 people who were sick in New York State because they ingested disinfectants
Oh
because
my
of the
God.
suggestion of Trump. This is not a
I
joke.
would expect that to
Serious.
happen down south. You
Just
tell
New
me
York.
people.
We're supposed to be progressive and intelligent in New York, but just New York, 30 people have been sick and had to go to the hospital because they ingested household items such as Lysol, Clorox, trying to disinfect themselves.
First
So,
question: how the
so
hell they was able to get the Lysol and the Clorox? Because that shit's been sold out for
yeah,
weeks
but
now.
some people do have it. That's why, to be honest with you, if it wasn't for the fact that these things are hard to get by, that number would have been triple, if
Higher.
not more. But the
It would
question
have.
is, Trump Clorox coming. Do you think he wanted to influence the dumb or he spoke out of turn? Let's start with Clifford.
I mean, if you take anything that he say like really serious and don't don't do no background information, that tells where your head is at too. So
But he's still the president. That's the problem. When
but
someone's supposed to be like your teacher, that's why it's so bad to have terrible teachers, right? Because regardless of like as you get older, you're smart enough to do your research. But everything our teachers told us about Christopher Columbus and all this stuff like that, we believe that to be the truth.
That's true.
yeah, but I feel like you when the president speaks, especially the one that we have now, you got to really pay attention to realize, okay, is this something that you want to bring to the table with your lifestyle? Like, come on, that doesn't even sound right. I mean, for the 30 people out, God, I hope they get better and they whatever. But why
No,
would you,
I don't.
why would you do something like that?
We don't need that kind of stupidity walking among us.
Like,
First of all,
that's just a lack of knowledge, and that's just common sense. Those people didn't have common sense to believe, or they truly believe that it was something that can help them because their president said it.
I want to completely laugh at it, right? But then at the same time, I also want to give people the benefit of the doubt when it comes to stupidity like that because of who told us this, right? Because granted, we already know Trump had these followers that he could say dumb stuff and they'd be like, that's not what he meant. But the second thing we have to also realize is Trump, our president, gets it. He gets conversations with doctors, CDC, all the stuff like that. So people are thinking, you know what? Maybe Trump heard something from a doctor and he was just saying like, yo, we need to figure this out. Because guess what? We don't have an answer to the coronavirus. We don't have a vaccine yet. Some people say you treat it with vitamin C and vitamins. Some people, as a Haitian, I've been drinking concoctions like onions, garlic, honey, turmeric.
all right, my guy. Those are all things that can go inside your body, and not hurt it.
Yeah.
That I'm really like insulted. If these were adults who did this. There's fucking kids. My 5-year-old knows better than to ingest a Clorox or a bleach cleaning
it's
product.
crazy, but
like,
Mike,
come on.
let me play devil's advocate real quick.
I don't care who's telling you. The president or anybody else.
You know what's in a vaccine?
What's in the vaccine?
Diseases are in a vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Viruses are in a vaccine.
Yeah, they're giving you
embryos are in a vaccine. Like
your body has to
cells
form.
Of dead.
Your
the
body
cells
has
of
to
dead
form.
Embryos are in vaccines.
Cells.
I say
your
that
body
to
has
this.
to form the cells to fight it off. So I understand that. But
what I'm trying to say is, like, to be honest with you, the average person doesn't know what's in a vaccine. But you tell them it's a vaccine, and we just put it in our body like it's gonna get us better. Like the flu shot. The flu shot is literally putting the flu in you, seeing how your body reacts to it, and trying to build antibodies from a slight exposure of the sickness anyway. So you completely don't have the flu, and then they take a portion of the flu and put it in your body to try to build you a little exposure to get your antibodies working up.
But my guy, I believe on the back of these products, I believe it says do not ingest.
Yes.
I believe it says
that's like the biggest
this is a chemical. This is, we don't, I'm not wishing death on these people, but all I'm saying is we don't need people like that walking among us. That is beyond idiotic.
It's stupid. I'm not defending stupid.
Trump tried to say he was being sarcastic.
Yeah, but he believes that shit. Everything you say is dumb, bro. So we never know if you're sarcastic or not.
But even if you're trying to be sarcastic, this is not the time now to have Def Comedy Jam. Like
imagine if Obama would have said that.
And people right now, mental is out of control. Like everybody's mental is not there right now. So you make it like a little sarcasm, and then when you're the president, you're supposed to lead by example. But that's clearly, lack of knowledge. Period. He said
the thing about it is he might still get voted in again. And I ain't even gonna hold you. I am not a Trump supporter. But right now, with the stimulus packages and all the support things, stuff like that, my money looking kind of good right now. So if I didn't have a moral obligation to do what was right, I'd be like, yo, under this Trump administration right now, my bank account look good. A dumb person might be motivated to vote for Trump just because of that. You know what I'm saying?
No, a lot of people, that's what's most important to them. Everybody votes based on the things that pertain to you and your family, right? And will benefit you the most. And it's usually a list of first priority, second priority, third priority. Yeah. If your first priority is making sure your bank account is good, and this president allows that to be the case, he might be horrible in international affairs. He might be horrible with dealing with certain communities in the city, blah, blah, blah.
Responses to
My bank account is good.
outbreaks.
Oh, I like Trump. I'm going to vote for him again.
Yeah.
That's how they think, bro. I'm telling you.
I think the worst part about this is I truly can't answer you to say if he said it just being sarcastic or if there was some malicious intent. You know what I'm saying? So
Honestly, I just, I swear, Trump, I think he just gets up there and talks.
Malicious intent. I just feel like he's that powerful and he knows people respect him that much. He did it probably just to test the water. You see, I got a couple of them now. I just the power. He's very he's a very powerful president. Like people, I'm telling you, people love that man. You know what I'm saying? So it just shows you his, his power. 30 people to do that? Come on. Knowing that these are products that you clean with.
Exactly, man. You gotta be. You have to listen. They always getting on athletes and celebrities, people in the public eye. They always, the media and everything, criticizing. Well, you got to be careful. You saying this and you saying that, and this guy says the worst and the most dumb stuff ever all the time in these press conferences. And I'm like, yeah, it's criticized by one side. One news station you could see doesn't criticize it at all. But it's just amazing to me. It's like, yo, it worries me every time. And it's not because Trump is who he is. It's because I'm like, damn, we have some dumbasses in our country. We got some really dumb people. Like a lot. I'd be like, yo, this is sad. And this is why people talk about moving out of New York. I'd be like, yo, I think about it and think of different areas, and I visit different areas, and I'm like, yo, nah, I can't. Certain areas I just can't live in because it's a different way of thinking. The people, I'm not saying they're all stupid and everything. They just think differently. And you can't really change the thinking that's embedded in people from their upbringing or the society. It's different. You gotta be careful.
Yeah. So, Cliff, what about you? Do you think Trump intended to be malicious or just because he was just being stupid?
Like I said, I don't think it was intent to be malicious. He just wanted to show you how powerful he was. Once again, to show you, listen, these people believe anything I say. You know what I mean? And he did it. Those 30 people was the prime example to show you how powerful this man is. Anybody who uses a cleaning product, but come on, to think that's gonna help them out, this guy's powerful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's powerful and we're stupid. So the combination is deadly.
I don't think it was malicious. I think it was like one of those things that he just wanted to put it out there to see who was gonna react, and people react to it. So,
Yeah.
I think when he say things, it's more because he just saying it for himself. He doesn't really care what's going on.
I mean, this was the same guy who was bragging that his press updates got more eyes than American Idol and the NFL. So
he's still running it like it's a reality show, baby. This is not a presidency. This is the ultimate reality show, baby. You thought what was the show he had? Where he was firing people?
The Apprentice.
You thought The Apprentice was big. This is the ultimate reality show right here.
Facts. So we're on Zoom and I'm just getting notification that they're going to end the meeting because of the limitations. So I'm trying to upgrade the account now. So excuse me if you don't see me in the background. The next question I want you guys to talk about is sports is coming up. Sports is, the NBA is letting people individually train starting May 1st. UFC has events coming up.
Training facilities.
Yeah. So how do you guys feel with sports coming back? How will it make your life better? Start with you, Mike.
It's gonna make my life so much better. Because it's just something that I miss. Like, I mean, I love my kids, but
Don't compare your kids to sports, bro.
Sports
Don't
is
do it.
like my baby. Sports, bro. You gotta understand that is you know, I don't know. That's another thing I was talking about. Going to a sporting event. That's when this whole thing is over. I don't care how much the ticket is. When we all need to go to a game. Well, see, they might be playing without crowds for a while. So I don't even know if that's gonna be possible. But
My
that's
G,
just
I watched the whole WNBA draft last week, B. I watched the draft from beginning to the end. I don't need to be in the crowd to enjoy sports, B. I just need to see it. And that's no disrespect to the WNBA. I'm just saying, when you want sports, you consume sports. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly. I'm watching all the old shit. I got a game on right now from back in the day. It was 1990 something football game. Like it's just whatever, me. It's like it's something missing out of everybody's life. You know, there's something out of our routine that we miss the most. And for me, it's just the sports. Like I'm playing my schedule around this shit. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I pride myself on having all of those experiences. I've been to the NCAA tournament, you know, football games, baseball games, basketball games, hockey games. I've been to golf. I've been to golf championships before. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just a sports fanatic. God didn't bless me to be an athlete, but I love
You went to a
sport.
golf championship? Which golf championship you went to?
I went to the U.S. Open in Bethpage Black. I seen Tiger
Oh
Woods
wow!
and Phil Mickelson.
Thanks for the invite, nigga.
It was a last minute thing, but
Did you get
this is a
invited,
long
Cliff?
time ago. This is like 2010. But
But
I
I
say that
always
to
wanted to
say
do
that's how
that
much
too.
of a sports.
but you know why the sports play a big factor is because that's the only time you could just look at your favorite team and not think about your problems when you're watching a good game. You know, especially
Yeah.
from a perspective like sports is a big thing. A lot of times, I ain't gonna lie, basketball probably saved my life because going through going through when you're a child and stuff, if you live in an urban neighborhood and stuff, whatever, you could get involved into a lot of crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that you got to do good in school because you want to stay on the basketball team
Yep.
helps you become a better person. So sports play a big factor in everybody's life.
That's
Even
true.
even even as a professional athlete, a lot of athletes say, I didn't have a father, but I had my basketball coach who told me how to act accordingly
Yep.
and become a good father to my kid. So
Yep.
sports in the whole teach you how to be well-rounded as a person in general. That's what
Yeah.
that's what you miss about it in general. So that's why when you don't have it, you trying to figure out what outlet you could go to.
Yeah.
Like listen, everybody who's a parent love their kids, but you sometimes you do need to be like, yo, man, I need to watch this game in silence. Nobody,
Yes, right.
nobody,
It's the
no,
one time where
you
you
know.
get to release. You get to in sports, right? Even if it's not you, it's something you could become a team of, like your team. My Knicks suck, but you know what? I crazily root for them all the time. I want them to get better. It's something to look forward to escape your life, right? Like sometimes I can't control. Listen, it's weird, right? I can't control the fact that cause my brother, you know what I'm saying? Mike's my best friend. Sometimes you can't really control that, but at the same time, I chose to be a Knicks fan. I chose to be that insane. You know what I'm saying? And I
Definitely
choose to
insane.
continue to route for the
Definitely
laundry.
insane.
Even though you see me with the
This
Brooklyn
nigga
gear on,
talking about he a Knicks fan and he
don't
up
get
there
it
wearing
twisted.
the
I'm a
Brooklyn
Knicks fan.
Nets
This,
jersey.
I like
and
the colors. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, Jay-Z had ownership in Brooklyn, so it made me kind of be like, all right, I'm gonna give them the pride. I'm a Jay-Z fan. But I also say that to say this, sports also is the one time where it's just that I can walk up to a white guy who me and him would never ever be friends, have interactions with outside of whatever, but we could just hug if we see our team score together, our team wins the game. Without thinking twice about it, we might hug, jump. I might
That's
buy him
true.
a beer, he might buy me a beer. When we wouldn't even look at each other twice because
On the
sports
street.
brings us together.
Yeah,
Like
that is everything both of y'all said is the epitome of what it's all about and how important sports is. Like going back to what Cliff was saying, it saves lives. Like
Mhm.
it does teach you life's lessons. It helps you become a better person, man, woman, whatever, child. Um, but it keeps a lot of kids who normally probably be in the streets doing shit they not supposed to. They
Yeah.
doing something different, more productive.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They staying out of
100%
trouble
agree.
because they, playing ball in whatever facet.
Like we grew up in Southside Jamaica, Queens, right? And then at the time, growing up in the late '80s, it's a lot of crap going around, a lot of people selling drugs and stuff like that. Even
Yeah.
even before we became teenagers, we started to have friends who started to sell drugs, right? Because a lot of times the drug dealers know that the cops aren't looking for kids to,
Yeah.
to
We
tackle.
was at the park playing ball, or we was in y'all backyard playing ball for hours,
Right.
and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying,
So
not
that
doing that shit.
distracted us. That
Yeah,
distracted us from the influence of
exactly.
gang activity or selling drugs or just trying to become part of that element, right? Because in our head, we felt like, you know what? We're gonna make it to the NBA, or somebody in the block's gonna make it to the NBA if
But,
we push each other
but,
hard enough. You
but
know what I'm saying?
look at how you realize. You ever realize even if the ones that never did play sports, you could go on the boulevard right now, and the same dude you went to junior high school for, he seemed like he'd been on the boulevard for 20 years because he never played ball or nothing. And he got the same look. He looked
Yeah.
like life hit him hard because he never got into anything that says, you know what, let me take my time out so I could learn different things. He just stayed on the boulevard hustling. And he
And
looks,
another
he
factor.
because of that.
You're right. Another factor you don't think about also about sports is sports make us think about other places in the world, right? You grew up in Southside, all you know is New York. You're not thinking about Los. You might think about Miami and Los Angeles because of them being big cities, but you didn't really think about Dallas or Houston or San Antonio. But you thought about that place because of the Spurs. You know what I'm saying? You thought about different places. It just made you think of outside of just your neighborhood and your community because of the exposure. Clifford being an athlete, Clifford then went to Alabama and Florida and different places to play tournaments. AAU. You know what I'm saying? Little hole in the wall towns with AAU tournaments and stuff. Sports just allows us to think about outside of our own community and allows us to dream, right?
Yeah.
Just like okay, sometimes you want your kids to dream of doctors and lawyers and things like that. But before we get those serious dreams, we dream of being professional athletes. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
another reason why I can't wait till 9 to see part 3
I
of
was
this
just about to
Jordan
talk about that.
documentary.
The fact that we're missing sports, don't get it twisted. The Last Dance would be a big documentary anyway. But
Yeah,
the fact that we don't have nothing going and he's talking about arguably the GOAT, he's not my GOAT. He might be other people's GOAT. Jordan's
Hey,
not my GOAT, but
yo,
that's a whole nother conversation.
yo, forget all that go talk. If you go on Instagram, you see how much categories he got over the whole Bulls team with Jordan on there. Pippen had
oh, yo, I forgot Cliff was a
Cliff
big
was a big
Pippen.
Cliff fan, yeah.
Listen, Michael Jordan, besides points, Pippen was the leader in every other category, and Jerry Krause fat ass didn't want to pay him.
Yeah, your man was getting jerked, man. He was getting jerked on that money, man.
Of course.
And shout out to Shannon Sharp, right? Shannon Sharp said, like, yo, Jordan come out and saying, oh, Pippen was being selfish, trying to do the little holdout, waiting for a surgery. Jordan, that last year, Jordan, you made $33 million. Besides for the fact that you was the biggest sports icon in the world, making hand over fist off the court. Don't get it twisted. In the same regard where we say Jordan shouldn't be watching Pippen's money, but at the same token, my thing about it is, if I'm making money off the court, right, and then y'all paying me $33 million, and my man making $2.7 million, I'm gonna say like, yo, look, give me 22. He was making $33 million. Give me $23 million.
I paid 36.
Give Pippen another 10, so my man could be at least at 13, and he could feel decent about himself. I'm gonna make that money on the back end anyway. The money I'm making off the court, that's his taxes.
And this is why I try to tell dudes again, LeBron is not just great on the court, but he's great off it. You know how many
Look at the money
bums
he got Thompson, paid? J.R. Smith.
He got guys paid.
Shumpert. Booby Gibson. He got his people around him paid money that they shouldn't have got.
Yep.
Not
That's
even,
exactly right.
listen, not even that. You gotta credit because he fired everybody that was somebody. He took his whole everybody. He took his whole team from high school, showed them the game, and started his own thing, and they all millionaires.
LeBron is the true definition, and my brother's keeper.
All
Yes,
millionaires.
I am.
You know what I'm saying?
All
But
LeBron,
millionaires.
Jordan,
think
you
about it.
can't
Think about
expect
it. Think
somebody.
about it. LeBron, let's keep it a whole buck, right? When you're at the level of LeBron James, Eddie, all you really need is a good lawyer that read contracts, and that's it, right?
That's a
To make sure your contract is not effing you over, because you don't go into a meeting, right, with the NBA team and negotiate. Oh, can I get the max and stuff like that? Anything you want for LeBron, you get. So you just need a lawyer to read over your contract where you could pay a flat fee. You don't have to give a percentage of your contract. But when you want your brother to eat, you like, yo, I'm gonna give him the 3 to 5% that an agent makes because it stays within the family. And then I make your name popping so that you could do that for other African American or minority people. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So that's the thing. I always feel like, yo, if God blessed me to make a lot of money, I don't want to be responsible for people to be like, Ma, can I borrow? No. I'm like, yo, you know what? I need this done. Do this for me. Let me find a way I can pay you so that you don't feel like you owe more money and you got to kiss more money ass. I'm part of the brand. I'm working. I'm making money too. You know what I'm
but
saying?
Exactly.
listen,
Don't give me a fish, right? Just
So
give
I
me a
eat
fish
once.
if it's
Teach me how
good.
to fish. So
Teach
I
me
eat
how to
forever.
fish.
you don't you listen. At the end of the day, it's easy to give somebody money. You don't handicap the person, but you show them the way. You lead them into opportunities. That's all it's about. But but it show you how much of a shitty person Jordan is because this is years ago, and he still said Pippen was kind of selfish with him. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Like,
but anyway,
even
Jordan's
let's
a whole piece of something else. You know what I'm saying?
but
He's a great athlete, though. I can't
what
take that away from him.
I'm saying is the fact that he could say this 30 years now to this day,
Yeah.
that shows you the character of
No,
a
but don't
person.
get it twisted. What you gotta realize is, even though we're seeing it now, this has been in a vote for 10 years.
But listen, 10 years or not, that man, the fact that you said that he wasn't your Robin. He was just another.
Yeah.
He was
He was a
he
sucker.
was
He
yeah.
was a
He said it
sucker.
himself. He said it himself. Once he watched the whole thing, he said, "Wow, after this, people are gonna think I'm a bad guy." He said it himself before this came
Yo,
out because
even
he saw it.
Pippen been getting punked since he came into the league.
Yeah,
You didn't even show
I
that video of Oakley slapping him up.
I get completely distracted. That was Oakley was disrespectful for that.
Yo,
If I
man,
was Pippen, I'd
disrespectful.
stole Oakley now. Like, yo, you shouldn't have done. But anyway, let's move on to this. Continuing in this quarantine world that we're living in, what have you learned about yourself during the quarantine? Right, because I'm learning. I'm learning how much so that I need people around me. I need to have conversations with people. I like don't get it twisted. I be on the phone with my family, friends. Like I call and have our conversations just to talk because I need that. That's my therapy. I don't necessarily need to sit on a couch and talk to people, talk to a stranger and ask, why is my life this way and stuff like that. I just express my emotions to my people and I talk about what's going on, and that's my therapy. So that's one of the biggest things I learned. But the question is, what have you learned about yourself during this quarantine? Have you learned anything new about yourself? Cliff, you go. I'm sorry. You want to go,
Oh my
Mike?
God. Nah, go ahead, Cliff.
No. I definitely learned to piggyback what you said. I definitely need to talk to people, and I definitely learned. I learned that I can't go to jail. Period.
Yeah, you
Because
said that earlier.
being in
Knew
jail,
that already, but okay.
I knew that already. But this quarantine showed me that. Listen, being isolated like that, not being able to move the way you want to, you realize how important it is just to communicate with people, not on just the phone. Communicating on the phone and having it's like okay, learning from the computer and learning in the classroom is two different things, right? Sometimes some people need that interaction of a teacher to explain it to them and
Yeah,
how to become a better student. I'm that type of person. I need to see it firsthand, and I need to be around people. I learned that, period. And I'm not gonna lie, I probably will try to find it to somewhere I could go to therapy for after this. Seriously, because I didn't realize, I'm like, and then people that I know, I literally found out 10 people that like I kind of knew died.
Yeah. We're
Died.
gonna talk. We're gonna talk about that on our last topic. So, not to cut you off, but hold some of that thought so we can have a more in depth later on conversation.
Me,
Yeah.
I realize I need the affection of a woman.
I knew you was gonna say that.
They
That's
feel-
why he's open shirt poppy. See, when you've
No.
been as married for as
Yo.
long as I am, you know what a drought is, and you kind of just like, this is a drought. You know what I'm saying? But not open shirt poppy. But go ahead.
Yo, the drought. I'm up here shaking.
You like
I'm
Pookie in
talking
New
to
Jack
myself.
City.
Yo, I'm talking. I'm flirting with myself. It's the weirdest shit. I'm like, I go in the mirror like, hey, you looking pretty good, fella. What's your name? It's bad, bro. Nah, it's like, I don't know. That's I think I need and it's consistent. You know, I need that consistent effect. It might just be more not just affection thing. It could be attention. You know what I'm saying? But
I definitely realized how much attention that I need, right? Because
it's tough.
like I said, I got sick. I've been self-quarantining just to make sure I didn't make my whole household sick or whatever. And just being in the room by yourself for so many hours, you're like, shit, this shit is boring. And everyone keeps saying, watch Netflix, watch Hulu. My thing about it is, even when I watch these shows, I need someone to talk to about the show or what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
It's weird
different to
though,
texting
homie.
people about it.
I used to live by myself for I'd say about 2.5 years when I first moved upstate. I lived by myself.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot about myself during that time.
Yeah.
But I think it was easier because, I come and go as I please. I could have guests if I wanted. We didn't have to practice social distancing, and I didn't have to isolate myself back then. So it was cool. I mean, I'm comfortable being by myself and somewhat isolated, but being restricted and not being able to have, people come over to see you or go out and visit other people like that, that's the toughest part. You know what I mean? And that contact, I went to visit a friend of mine the other day, and we had to give each other an air hug. I hadn't seen her in a minute, and we was like,
even in my house with my own wife, because we're practicing social distancing and not touching and stuff like that. And I do Wakanda forever, and then I salute her.
Oh, so you really ain't getting that.
I didn't want to say all that, but I do Wakanda whatever, salute. You know what I'm saying? Because
like this is social distance.
Yeah.
Nah. I said, listen, baby, I'm gonna put my mask on. We're gonna get it in. The corona don't attack your genitals. Love, right? The corona don't attack your genitals.
Yeah. So all right, so we learned about ourselves, the needing of attention, of communication, fellowship, familyship. What will you not take advantage of once the world opens up again? To me, the opportunity to travel, the opportunity to just walk around, go visit, go sit in a restaurant and eat, go sit in a movie theater and watch a movie. I know I'm a movie buff.
What you will not take advantage of?
Yeah, because we take advantage of certain things because for access. So what will you not,
Yeah, you appreciate more not taking. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, just the simplest thing, like sitting in a bar, with somebody next to you, talking, sitting in an environment with your friends, like this. I mean, I didn't take advantage of it before because I love, us getting together and doing the podcast, but it's missed. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to hang out with y'all and be in that same space. Yeah. And of course, family. So many people. I'm trying to reach out and trying to stay in contact. With family members who may not be in your general vicinity more. Yeah. But with so many people losing family members and stuff like that, you can't take advantage of that. Um, you gotta, as they say, give them the roses while they're still alive to smell
Yeah.
them. You
I
gotta
haven't
get your
physically
loved ones.
seen both of you guys since February. It's almost gonna be May. It's May
Yeah.
next week.
The last time we fight, Wilder.
Oh, we went to see the fight. Yeah.
Wilder.
Yeah.
I'm glad we did that because that was like the last outing
Yep.
I had. The last time I went out to do
February
something.
something. You know what I'm saying? So and don't get it twisted. You know, the bonds that you build with people are always going to be solid when you're just a solid person and stuff like that. But you know, you need that face interaction. I haven't seen my nieces and nephews. I haven't seen my moms in a while. I mean, I talk to people every day and stuff, but you know, having that social interaction, you know, it's healing for the soul. I always tell people I am not financially rich, but I'm rich with relationships and family. You know what I'm saying? I'm rich because the people who I are, the people that I'm in their lives appreciate me. They know the value of Marv. Marv may not be able to buy you a car or nothing crazy, but if I'm in your corner, I'm in your corner fully. You know what I'm saying? And that's a richness to have because some people don't
And
have.
you have ample amount of people who you know love you and who you can trust. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about, you know, them
yeah,
doing something dirty or nothing like that.
yeah.
That's when you rich. You know what I'm saying?
That's when you're
You
rich.
can have all the money in the world if you surrounded by snakes. It's
Yeah,
like,
you're gonna start moving like that too.
Yeah, like
yeah,
you know, I don't want to make it a overall sob story, but from 2016 to now, the stuff that's just happened to me individually, a lot of people will be like, yo, I need therapy. You know what I'm saying? Shit is crazy and stuff like that. But just because, you know, I have strong people behind me, I have prayer warriors, I just have a mindset that, you know what, I'm going to be successful. I'm going to achieve things. I just keep pushing. Shit happened to me. I just like, yo, this shit is fucked up. I laugh. For a moment, you get to the point where it's like, damn, shit always happens to me. But then you just keep pushing forward. You know what I'm saying? And it takes having a strong, you know, community around you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always tell people like, yo, go out there and build your legacy, forget liabilities. Because anything that you're dying for now will not be that good in 6 months to a year. Even you want that fly ass car. You know what I'm saying? I drive a luxury car. After a year, I was over it. After a year, I was just like, damn, I got this big ass car no sitting on my fucking back for what?
Yeah, that's the moral of my story. But I Reggie told me the other day. I was telling Reggie. Reggie was like, "Yo," I told him that mommy got a new car, whatever, right? So I was like, "Yeah," but I said I'm keeping my car. I'm keeping this car. I'm gonna pay it out and I'm done. He's like, "Hey, you go in another 2 years, you gonna switch it up again." You said that same shit every time, but it's not even like honestly. After coming out of this, I know financially wise, I'm just falling back, period. Because listen, if I wasn't smart enough to save this storm, I would have somebody would probably would have had to get robbed out this motherfucker. I'm playing around, but still, like you finance, you got to take advantage of the fact that you got a job and you're able to make money.
Yeah.
That's a blessing, period. Right now, so with your finances, you gotta take advantage of that, period. Especially coming out of this. Anybody who was able to make decent money, when you come out of this, make sure you save everything you got because it's the
time to
recession.
invest those stimulus checks, buy stocks.
I mean, you
You
know,
know what I'm saying?
not to get too like personal, but just like to be in a situation where it's just like me and my wife, we got stimulus, and we're just like, what are we gonna do with this? Well, just push it to the side, like not even thinking about this stimulus thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like there's some people just like, damn, if they didn't get that stimulus, their grimy landlord would have kicked them out. Because even though people are not supposed to kick people out, there's still people going under the table. And imagine this, some people didn't get stimulus because they're married to an immigrant. That was another thing holding back some of the stimulus. Meanwhile, the two components of holding up the stimulus because you're married to an immigrant, Trump and McConnell, and they're both married to immigrant women.
It's crazy.
Interesting.
It's a hypocrisy that we live in. The last question on this topic is: will you continue to social distance even when this thing go back to normal? To be honest with you, I said this in a funny post, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. Going to see some family, going to work when work comes back, doing the podcast. That's it. At least for a little while, because I'm realizing how unclean a lot of people are. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of makes me feel like, yo, I really do need to practice some level of social distancing, even when, quote unquote, they say go back to normal. How you guys feel about that?
Go ahead, Cliff.
I ain't gonna lie to you, big bro. I'm the opposite. I ain't gonna lie. I'm be hitting some spots up because you know what? I don't know anymore. Like, I've been down before when I had my surgery, whatever. I was down for a good 4 or 5 months straight. It's a whole different ballgame when you down 4 or 5 months straight, just sitting up in the hospital bed or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna hit my avenues to a certain extent. I'm not talking about just clubs or whatever, but like stuff where I could just have good conversations or whatever. I'm gonna see a couple people. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't want to be on top of people anymore right now. To be honest
Yeah,
with
I'm
you.
not on top of people.
No,
I'm not talking about.
we don't think about it, right? Because it was never a thing. How many times do people brush up against you, touch you on the train and shit like that? It happens, bro.
I can't tell you the last years I've been on a train. I drive everywhere, but that's
when
another
you
story.
when you work in like big Jersey City, Manhattan and shit like that, no matter what, you have to take the train occasionally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to. So what about you, man?
I'm a very
You open shirt pocket.
interactive person,
You about the people. You got to touch your constituents.
There's some people I have to be in physical contact with. I miss them. But at the same time, I hear what each of y'all are saying. So yeah, I mean, like I might, if I like I was saying earlier, I go to the bar, have a drink, sports bar, whatever. I'm not gonna sit right next to that person. I'm gonna sit a chair over. Maybe just slight things. I might not be as I mean, your family, you can't help but be, interactive with your family and stuff.
Yeah.
But outside it's my that old dap. Hey, what up, boy? Yeah.
There's no more pounds, bro. It's a salute. It's a salute.
I give you forearm. What up?
Yeah.
So and I say that now, but let me get a few drinks in me. And like I was fucking drunk last night, and then you forget all that shit.
Yeah.
Hey.
Nah, but I think, to be honest with you, maybe I'm going through something, mentally and not thinking about it, but a level of social distancing, I'm going to kind of. I say that now, right? Because I'm still in the storm. But to be honest with you, it's just like I get it. I think we have to kind of really see how unclean and how germ able we are in this society. You know what I'm saying? Just think about how New York City became like the epicenter of it, right? It's because we always on top of each other. There's no space and shit like that. So that's why New York City got hit so bad. Queens County was the worst. Between Queens and Brooklyn are the two worst counties in the world.
Yo, I think honestly, it's all part of God's plan, right? Because we basically got told, go to your room, you're on punishment, sit down.
Yeah.
Sit down. The earth has now regenerated itself.
Yes.
The earth is getting better because the earth needed a break from all the shit that we were doing to it.
To be honest with you, this couple of months, like you said, might have slowed down our global warming issue and some of the ozone layer issues and things that we've had.
So if that's the case, and if it's scientifically proven that doing a quarantine or doing a shelter in place, so to speak, gives the earth the chance to regenerate, wouldn't it be a smart thing for us to practice this yearly? Like say
Idris Elba said something like that, and Wendy Williams got in his ass. But I think so. I think
it would.
I think honestly, that's a very smart thing you said. I think honestly, we should make it some kind of mandate where we have, you know, self quarantine weekends, where at least for this weekend, nobody go outside if you don't have to go outside.
You know what?
Allow some breaks in our ecosystem. I agree with that.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
quarterly, maybe one
Quarterly.
weekend every 3 months. You have to stay inside.
Yeah.
I don't know about. It sounds good, but people's mental. I don't know if everybody's gonna come out right after this anyway. Some
I
people are
mean,
really.
if we made it through this, if you made it through this, you can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Another
on.
thing, y'all have to do because, not to cut you off, Cliff. Let me just say this real quick. Because y'all both said y'all need to be around people and stuff like that. I want y'all to be careful because there's a lot of people who's gonna have the fresh out mentality. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just that they've been arguing with their woman so much, they just been looking at their kids more than they want to look at. First time they go into a bar, they might drink too much, they might fight, it might get a little hostile because people haven't been able to be outside. So you got to think about that element too. But go
I
ahead.
think people are gonna be. I think people will be more loving after this. You know what I'm saying? Just because
Whatever
they.
you are internally sometimes get escalated. So if you that nigga who just like to fight anyway, sometimes you know what I'm saying, that first time you get to fight, you just want to fight. Go
Okay,
ahead, Cliff.
I can see that.
I mean, I feel like you still should practice the same habits you had before, but just like you said, be more aware of certain situations. But I don't know if self quarantine like on a year to year basis is gonna help people's mental out. Like some people some people need to be outside because you gotta think about the people that's been incarcerated who just came out of jail and now they got to self quarantine. That
That's
that's a
tough.
whole different ball
That's
game.
tough.
So
That's tough.
that's
Yeah.
what you gotta understand. You talking about it from a perspective somebody that's a free man. I'm talking about somebody who works in the institute and somebody who just got out and is like, yo, I gotta be back in the crib now. I just got out. You know
Yeah.
You're
what I'm
right.
saying?
You're right.
So it's a
Yeah.
whole it's a lot to go with it. So it's just what kind of person you are, and and you go, you practice safe and good habits. That's what I think.
All right, so this is going to be the last topic of the show. And, like I said, you kept hinting at it, and I wanted to save some of your thoughts on this is how do you deal with the loss during the corona epidemic, right? Because like each of us know, like it may not been, your bosom brother or your bestie or stuff like that, but all of us know double digit people who have passed due to corona, right? Albeit you just on Facebook and is a friend of a friend, somebody's uncle, somebody's grandma, somebody's mama. Like I was telling you guys earlier, I knew someone who her brother, her father, her uncle in 2 weeks span all died from corona. You know what I'm saying? Fred the Godson. Celebrities are dying from corona as
Yeah.
well.
R.I.P. Fred the
R.I.P.
Godson,
Fred the
man.
Godson. So how do we deal with it, right? Because to be honest with you, one of the toughest things that oh, number one thing, tough thing for me was when the gym closed. You know what I'm saying? Because I really was developing a momentum of being in the gym all the time, and now that got stripped from me. But on a more tough note is sometimes I avoid logging back on Facebook because every time I log on after a couple of hours, I hear someone post, I lost this person, I lost that person, I lost this.
You
It's been
Yeah.
more death than I've ever had to do. This couple of months has been more death than I had to deal with in the last 5 years. Right? It's just that crazy. So the first question is, how are you dealing with the loss? Like, I'm gonna start with Clifford because Clifford has so many co-workers that he knew. Some people
know,
he spoke to a week before, and then the next week is gone. So how are you dealing with that loss?
I'm dealing with it like um, I try to put my mind in a space of all the good times I did have with the people I did lose,
Mhm.
and like recently, like 4 or 5 days ago, I lost my junior high school teammate, basketball teammate. He worked at Rikers Island too, and I used to see him at Rikers. We always talk about, yo, we gonna get up, yo. His first thing asked me, yo, you still playing ball? You still don't pass the ball? Like funny drink, whatever. Because we was junior high school teammates, and we was supposed, how you say, oh, yo, we gonna get up. He was a correction officer. I used to always see him on the island. Yo, we supposed to get up and whatever too. And then I turn on Facebook and I see R.I.P. Maurice. I'm like, Mo, like, I just chopped it up with Mo. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I try to
So he
try
was
to.
your age, right?
He
He's
was
around your age.
a year older than me. I'd be 35 in 2 weeks. He was 36, so he was a year older than me. I was in seventh grade. He was in eighth grade. We played a junior high school 72 basketball team together, and you know, and he was a cool dude. Anybody that know him, always respectful. You know, pay. So I don't want to go too much in depth or just him. I lost a lot of people. I lost captains on the island who showed me level of respect, and you know, I carry myself accordingly. So people will never say, "Oh, yo, I don't really fuck with them." Or if you don't like me, it's a personal thing you don't like me with, and
Yeah.
that's fine. I don't get too personal with it, but I try to. All the people that I lost that I knew, I just try to remember the good times that I did have with them, or the good conversations with them to say, you know what, everything happened for a reason. But I hope that the impact that I left with them was a good one. That's all. That's all you can do.
That's D. I respect that. Mike, what about you? How have you been dealing with loss? If you suffered losses, or just the theme of loss, because it's so rampant. We've lost people that went to Hillcrest with us, even though if we weren't close to them or not. You know what I'm saying? Just knowing people are peers.
That's the thing. I haven't um had to necessarily deal with anyone close to me dying, recently, or anybody that know who is close to me, them losing a family member or relative. But I deal with death kind of different than others. I see it as a part of life. Death is a part of life. I
Yeah.
understand we must all grieve. Everybody grieves differently. You mourn your loved ones, but it's harder when there's people, our age passing away. They
Yeah,
got young kids and stuff like that.
yeah,
Um, so I don't know. I just try to give, words of encouragement to those who do lose loved ones, and tell them that it'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Tell them the best thing they can do is, just continue that person's legacy by remembering them, and whenever they get a chance to, um, saying positive words about them, keeping them, alive in spirit and memory like that. But ultimately, it's not much we can do,
yeah.
because
It's
Right.
it's tough, right? Because I've known people who've passed. I've had conversations with people like a couple weeks ago, and then now they're gone because of it. And I'm not gonna sit there and say like, they weren't like you guys in my circle. It wasn't close like that, but it's just knowing, you know what I'm saying? And me, me being someone who's just so I've had health complications. I'm trying my best to lose weight and address my health, and to see what psychologically has been affecting me is just like I said it last week, and I'll say it again. Like 2 out of every 3 people that I see when they say, rest in peace for the person, has been African American overweight people. So me being a part of that population, it just affects me because I just feel like I'm so close to I'm in that population, right? So I kind of feel like death is, for lack of better words, around the corner from me. You know what I'm saying? Death is
But
not that. No, but hear me out. Death is not that far from me, so it's been affecting me. I haven't let it sit in my head too much. Every time that feeling hits me, I get on the ground and I do some crunches, or I lift some weights, or I do a exercise. I go on Instagram. There's so many quarantine workouts, and I'm like, oh, I didn't do this workout before. So I've tried to do that. So my way of dealing with loss is just saying, you know what? I'm gonna try my best to live the best life I can, and not that I'm living my best life drinking and smoking, but just like really trying to become a more healthier person. But what were you gonna say, Cliff?
no, I would say that like a lot right now, the best thing to do is try not to look at the media too much because it's gonna have you worried, have your mind
Yeah,
worrying. Like when it first happened, I was always looking at this and that, and I'm like, you know what? You gotta do things that keep you therapeutic. Like after I do this, I'm gonna work out for 2 hours. I'm gonna do the treadmill. I'm gonna do my bike for an hour and do an
I'm
hour.
waiting for my bike. I ordered a bike, and it's taking the longest to come. But
Wait and go take a shower. Wait for this Jordan thing to go. But what I'm saying is, you gotta keep yourself. You can't keep your mind racing about negativity. Negativity You mess around, mess around, put yourself in a dark space.
Yeah.
There's everybody you see is your side. You know, you just gotta worry about your own situation.
Yeah.
If I worried about everybody who had heart disease, I would even be having conversations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But at the same time, knowing, like, right, because we selfishly or arrogantly always have this mentality by default. It happened to them, it won't happen to me. But then we also have to use that as a springboard to say, like, yo, it happened within your reach. It happened to people that kind of are in your social economical circle. So it can happen to you. So to me, it's just like, don't get it twisted. I'm not going to sit there and say all quarantine, I've been perfect. I haven't eaten any bad food. But at the same time, me being locked in like that, I'm not constantly eating like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm more constantly thinking about working out and stuff like that because I realized that, yo, your health is so valuable. And I think people of color, we live this mentality like, shit, my father died young. My grandpa kind of died young. So I'm just gonna live my life because my time might be young. And we have to kind of develop the mentality of breaking the cycle. You know what I'm saying? Like, my father was a big guy, but he wasn't as big as I am. But my father's brother was kind of a big guy. I say that to say this: I have to break the cycle. My siblings, all at one point, had weight on them, but they're all living better lives, and I have to join that circle. So that's what pushes me. It moves me on to the next question. Do you think this will make our people deal with the pre-existing conditions like they should? Like, for instance, diabetes, hypertension, heart disease are all elements some or other in our family, Cliff. And I just know, like, I have to be more conscious because of that. So do you think people of color are going to be right? Because what people are failing to realize with the COVID thing, people aren't necessarily 100% dying from COVID directly, right? Because if your health is decent, COVID hits you, you get sick, you get kind of a flu-like symptom, body aches, all that, and like that, and it kind of goes. Is the fact that people have underlying kidney disease, hypertension, diabetes,
My
asthma, all
my
of these
answer
things.
my
Those
answer
are
is gonna
killing them
be
because of the COVID.
my answer is gonna be yes and no, for the simple fact of um what is it? HIV AIDS doesn't kill you neither, right? What it does is it breaks down your immune system to where your immune system can't fight off a common cold, right? And
Yeah.
niggas still fuck it. They
Yeah, because
still fuck it
because
raw.
the crazy thing about it, the double-edged sword with that is sex is something that we need to continue the population and feel so good.
It is, and social interaction is something that we as human beings love and need, which
COVID's
can.
scarier, right? Because so don't get it twisted. If you wear a condom, 8 or 9 out of 10 times you're gonna be good. It's rare that you catch a disease and you was wearing a condom, kind of stuff like that. With this COVID thing, it's like you could not be interacting with someone, y'all just share the same bus. Y'all breathe in the same place. So it's a little different, but at the same time, we just know that there's a killer out there that if we don't get our health in
But see,
straight, once we're in contact with that killer.
the reason I say yes and no, the reason I say yes and no is because you have people out here now with pre-existing conditions who have been taking care of themselves. And yes, they'll probably be even more active in doing so, right? But then
Mhm.
you have others who probably got corona or had the COVID and got over it. So they're like, oh, it's nothing. Those are the carriers. They're going to spread it to those others,
Yeah.
most likely a family member or somebody close who is practicing the right things with their pre-existing condition. But they can't help the fact that their dumbass spouse or their dumbass brother or sister is out here wilding and they're coming into contact with them. You know what I'm saying? So all of that, all of them practicing the proper things to keep their health good and control their pre-existing condition is all for none. You know, if dummy who you constantly interacting with is still out here wilding, and you end up with COVID anyway.
Yeah.
What about you, Cliff? What do you think? Do you think people are gonna be addressing their pre-existing conditions with more seriousness now, seeing how COVID is out there snatching people?
I mean, I think when it comes from like an age factor, like not an age factor, we're gonna be more concerned. Like somebody older takes it more serious. But you see, look what they did yesterday with the big party. Like, man, I'm living my life. I don't believe nothing. I don't believe nothing these people say. Yo, blah blah blah, having a party. Come through. We just doing what we need to do.
Those are the problems right there. That is a pure example of the problems.
To be honest with you, is the premature announcement of opening back up has made people feel like, this, even the government's saying like, yo, we should go back to normal. So people are rushing it. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I get it. It's been what, a month and a half now, in New York, right? Like a month and a half in New York.
Yeah.
Like
So
2 months, no?
almost
I
two
don't feel
months.
like it.
No,
But
because to be honest with you, we wasn't really on really locked down to like the middle of March.
The
Like
middle of March.
they started talking about it at the end of February, but we didn't know. It was just like, don't go out if you don't want to. But then I think it was like the stay in place was put in like March 12th or March 15th is when they put in the stay in place. Like, yo, if you're not an essential worker, there's a curfew. You need to be, you know what I'm saying, past a certain time.
um, I feel like um certain people gonna take it serious, but the other people is like, I'm living my life. Some people is not social distancing at all. Period. They
Yeah.
don't care. They just have a mindset is, oh, I'm gonna do what I need to do anyway, regardless. But
But
not
no,
take.
I don't think anybody with a pre-existing condition is doing stuff like that, though. I mean, everybody who has a condition, for the most part, the ones that I know, they're taking it pretty seriously.
Yeah.
They don't want to die.
Of
You
course.
know?
No, but not even that. Little Boosie got type 1 diabetes. That's the worst diabetes you could have. He
Yeah.
done had quarantine parties and he been out and about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Little
Little
Boosie.
little Boosie has survived. Was it not pancreatic
Lung
cancer?
cancer.
What cancer he had?
Lung cancer.
Lung cancer,
But
which
he
would
might
make
be
you
Still
scared as
smoke.
hell of COVID. That's one of the worst things because you have a compromised lung, and it's your lung collapsing and filling up with brick like mucus, making you not be able to breathe is what's killing people. But some people just feel like they're gonna live their last hurrah.
he said, man, when I got lung cancer, I gave that doctor $250,000. I said, make it go away. They made it go away. He said, everybody can't do that though. You know what I'm saying? I gave them 250. Next thing you know, I was clear.
All right,
You know?
so the last question is: had this taught you to be a better communicator going forward? Right? Like I feel like it's taught me because of how concise and close quarters me and my wife's been. It's taught me like, yo, when we start to argue, I take a step back and say, look, this is what I meant. If I offended you, I'm sorry. Or you know what? Maybe I'm being sensitive. You said this and I thought you meant this and I shouldn't assume. So just because knowing like, yo, I don't know what my release date is right now. I'm in a bid where I don't know when they're gonna let me out. So I gotta operate jailhouse rules and make my jailhouse better. So I work on communication. Like Mike, let me ask you because you're not single in the sense that don't have anyone, but you're not living with anyone. So do you feel like this has improved your communication, maybe reaching out with people, following up or any way like that?
No. I mean, I'm trying. I think I'm pretty good at communicating anyway.
Yeah.
Um, it has helped me work on my tolerance and patience, I guess you could say, for
Okay.
shit.
Which is a part of communication, right? Is having the
Yeah,
tolerance to be able to.
yeah. I did that a little bit. It has helped with that, but for the most part, um, we all get caught in our own little routine. Even if in the quarantine you get a routine, you know what I'm saying? And if reaching out and communicating and contacting others is not part of your normal routine, it's hard to just switch it up, and start it. But I was trying, like I'm still trying as far uh, as with those, who in my phone, family members I don't speak to often.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying. but I haven't got there yet.
Okay. So Cliff, close us out. Had this taught you to be a better communicator going forward, just going through the whole epidemic?
I mean, not really. I mean, I think I communicate to the people I really care about anyway. Like, I don't got time to babysit dudes or females or situation. No, no, I'm just keeping 100. So this taught me, you know, not to be. I do care about the people I care about, and it also taught me, you know what, you could try to help somebody if you can, but I'm not gonna sit there and act like, oh, I'm gonna start reaching out to people that didn't give a fuck about me before the quarantine to reach out to them now. So I'm
But
keeping.
answer this, because you are a father of a young toddler, and also you're a workaholic, right? So you've been at home with your family more in the last 6 weeks, probably than the last 6 months prior to that, right? If not more. So how that hasn't forced you to communicate more, either more clearly, more frequently? Like how's that affected that?
Yeah. It, I think my communication skills, it definitely had made me take a step back. I mean, I'm less patient right now because I feel like I feel like I feel like I'm less patient right now, which I have better patience usually.
Yeah.
So it made me look at
There's
myself.
irritation factor that
Oh,
everybody's
oh,
going through. So
yeah. No,
it's not just you. You know what I'm saying? Like I said last episode, I found myself fighting over food, or I forgot to move something, or I didn't wipe something down with alcohol. Shit like it's just like, oh, I did. Oh no, it don't seem like you did. There's petty arguments that happen because we can't go outside.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So. All right, so that's the end of another good episode. Like I said, we're making the best out of it, doing the Zoom episodes and practicing social distancing. We're going to have a nice little promo plug. Views from the Friend Zone. Check us out. We're on Spotify, we're on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. People who already consuming knows that we put up our videos on YouTube and Facebook as well. So continue to support us, and we'll have guests come in. We're gonna have an agent pretty soon. We're gonna have a women's group, a women empowerment group as guests. We're also looking for new guests as well. Obviously, we have a touch with artists and stuff, so we'll have artists on. We're gonna try
strippers. I think we need to get them strippers on, because people are not thinking about the strippers during this time. Strippers are suffering out here.
Let's talk about that. We'll have to figure that out. I don't know if we're gonna do a Zoom live or allow a stripper to strip in her box of the Zoom.
Hey, just let them strip. We'll throw some money in the air, just so it feels normal.
Yeah. So we're trying to navigate the new normal and see what that means, right? So Cliff, do a shout out before we roll out.
Just shout out to everybody. Be safe. We're going through a tough situation. And try to be good to people, and stay in contact with the people you care about. And if you can help somebody, help somebody. That's it.
What about you, Mike?
Shout out to all of you people out there staying strong physically and mentally during this time. All of our fans, we appreciate the love and support. I hope all of your families are staying safe. Shout out to my sis, Nunu Nels. The casino is open right now. She's found another way to get some bread. So if you like to gamble, think about the gamblers. Casinos are closed, but she found a way to open one up. So if you want to make some money,
yeah, you got to get it how you live in these Corona times.
Get it how you live.
So, like I piggyback on all the sentiments of my colleagues. Stay safe. Thanks for the love and support. I'm sorry we was gone for so long, but I was just trying to figure out what is the new normal? What should we do? You know what I'm saying? Is it responsible? Obviously, the studios had to close that we use, and I was just like, will people want to consume watching us on Zoom? But I'm just realizing some of the biggest brands, the Breakfast Club, radio stations on Zoom, the talk. When you watch ESPN, everybody's zooming from their crib. So this is the new normal. So I figured, our constituents, our fans, our family wants to, for the show to continue. So we went back. You know what I'm saying? We're just trying to give you guys a little piece of normal. Our Sunday hour and change we give you, and then you consume it whenever you get a chance, man. We love you. Before it was out there to chase your legacy, not liabilities. Now it's just stay safe, be safe. Be the change that you want to be the example that you want people to follow.
Think about after the quarantine.
Yep. We out. Peace.
Views.